Welcome, Sarah.
Hello.
I'm super excited to have a chat with you, Master NLP practitioner,
I
Master
know.
timeline therapist, Master breakthrough coach, Master hypnotherapist. How am I
I
saying that
know.
right?
Got all these credentials. It's amazing.
Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are and what you do?
Yeah. So I'm Sarah Scanella. I am an executive coach, but I also specialise in supporting people that are going through periods of quite significant change. So whether that's in their career, at work, or just in their personal lives.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you've just completed our Master Practitioner course.
Yes, I know. So excited.
Talk to us about your experience of the course, having been through practitioner and then gone into Master Practitioner.
Yeah. So I did practitioner back in April time, and for me it was really important to kind of feel like I had got a really good foundation and really put into practice some of those things that I learned. So I left it a few months before I enrolled onto the master, which was last week. But it was just so nice to be able to kind of immerse myself back into that learning, but just then that content, and just really start to kind of build on what I'd already cemented. But then what I loved about the master was that we just kind of blew the boundaries. So whereas at practitioner level, we're kind of perhaps more structured in our learning and the way we deliver techniques, what really works for me and my kind of coaching style is that kind of blowing of the edges, and therefore we just kind of go where we need to go, and we can adapt it and apply it in a way that kind of works for our overall sort of coaching approach, I guess. So yeah, I found last week just amazing actually to be immersed in it, and then to be able to do the timeline practice, master practitioner, and the hypnotherapy at the end as well was just brilliant. So a tiring week, but just felt so energized by the end of it.
Yeah, amazing. So just to give people a bit of context, you
Yep.
did practitioner in April and it's now December and you've
Yep.
just done master training.
Yes.
So a question that I get asked a lot is, well, what is the difference between practitioner and master practitioner? And I think you've kind of answered it, but
Yeah.
is there anything else that you'd like to add about that?
Yeah, I think for me it's really starting to build on those techniques, and starting to look at them from a kind of different perspective, as to perhaps why some things work the way that they work. I really love the language, and the language work we did in NLP, and again being able to build on that as well. And I realized that I'm using that quite naturally now in the way that I work with clients. And it was only when I did master this week that I realized that all of that learning from practitioner is actually really is cemented in there. I just didn't realize I was using it quite as much as I was. So for me, the master is really about cementing that knowledge. You're going much deeper into the topics. But you're really starting to use them as an expert, as opposed to more of a learner, which is, I guess, the way I would look at practitioner stage.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, definitely. So you're really mastering it, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So throughout the week, or the 8 days, it was 8 days, weren't we, live?
Yeah,
You not only learned how to coach using the master tools and techniques, you also experienced coaching firsthand
yeah.
from your learners, the other students on the course. What would you say was the biggest takeaway for you as you experienced that coaching firsthand?
Yeah. Sorry, Becky, I lost you there for a minute. I think it was my internet.
Yeah, that's okay. You're back now. Did you hear what I said? Do you want me to
I
ask
didn't
again?
know. Ask
Yeah.
me again. Yeah.
So as you went through the course, you were working
Yeah.
alongside the other students, and you were able to you were learning to use the techniques as a coach, but you were
Yeah.
also experiencing them firsthand,
Yeah.
personally. What would you say was your biggest breakthrough personally as you went through the course?
Yeah, there was probably two. One is almost a bit comical, I think, in some ways, and then the other one is about kind of deeper change, kind of within me. So the first one was I had tried. So I absolutely used to love chocolate all the time, and I still like chocolate, but it had become a bit of an obsession in that I'd always wanted to eat it, and I just couldn't walk past it without thinking, oh, I'm going to eat some. And I tried other techniques, and they'd worked for a little while, but then I kind of seemed to slip back. And then we did a technique last week, which was about kind of almost about kind of compulsive desires or obsessional desires. And I would almost put my kind of chocolate obsession into that. So we did the technique, and I was just like, I can't believe it. Even now, I'm I can walk, but we have chocolate in the house because it's near Christmas. And I've gone from being really like fixated on I really need to eat that, I can't leave it on the shelf, to okay, it's chocolate in the cupboard, and just walk past it. And that has not happened before. So I'm just like, wow, that was amazing. Yeah. So that was one kind of fun change, I guess. And then I think the other one was there was a couple of techniques that I really connected with. One was around your head, your heart, and your kind of gut, your intuition, and really thinking about how our thoughts and our emotions link into our body and our physiology. And there was a few techniques that really kind of brought that together for me, which I loved, and I could see myself using that a lot with my clients. And then the other one was where we just really went deeper and deeper to find what the real driver was behind things, which was a technique called prime concerns. And that for me just that really resonated again, because that's what takes you to the breakthrough. That's what really can get you to deep change and more long-lasting change. So for me personally, being able to go through that and start to think what's that behind some of those things was really, really powerful. And I could see myself using that loads with my clients. So yeah, I think for me it was just one of the really positive things was just coming out of the course feeling really confident that actually I do really know what I'm doing, and I've actually absorbed all of this learning without realizing it. And I know that we always talk about that on the course, but to actually then experience that and be able to recall so much and then just start to weave it in was just, really powerful. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, so if there was someone who has done practitioner, but they're thinking about master practitioner and they're not quite sure about it, what would your suggestion be?
Oh, just if you absolutely do it, because for me, this is kind of opening new doors as well, in terms of both me, in terms of my ability to navigate situations and change, but also I can see how I can use it. And I do other project work other than as a coach. I do sort of back in sort of HR roles and HR projects, but I'm already using all of these skills in that job as well, in terms of how I engage other people, how I think about situations, just moving from a place of, just some of the principles of NLP about people are, kind of working with the resources that they've got at the time. They're not their behavior. We don't know what's kind of going on in terms of that internal narrative. All of those sorts of things has just really changed the way I look at situations in a really helpful and resourceful way. So I would say if people are sort of not sure, absolutely go for it, because it kind of blew my mind a bit. I had the weirdest dreams at some points last week, but I think that was just my brain processing it. It was amazing. So yeah, really strongly recommend it. I mean, Practitioner is brilliant, but now I feel like I've got real depth of knowledge that I didn't have before, and it kind of all comes together as well. It starts to sort of, you see the threads and the patterns through it all. So yeah. Go for it, I would say.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for
You're
sharing.
very welcome. Very welcome.